town has a ghost story that's been passed down through the generations. But what if those legends were true? My name is Miranda Young, and I'm the Ghost Biker.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the Ghost Biker Garage. We are here at the historic Scott County Jail, myself and my co-host Sally. She's wanting to be on here. Make sure I got everything going where you can hear me okay. We got really cool guests tonight, so we're going to go ahead and get into that pretty quickly here. But just going to cover a few little things that we've got going on. We did put some new flashlight tours for the jail here on the historic Scott Co. Jail website, as well as the Facebook page. So you can book those through August, as well as through the rest of I believe through September. We've got some on there. Also, the escape room is going to be opening up very, very soon. We're super excited about that. Just waiting for my business partner to get back from Twinsburg. She's up there with her twin. And so once she gets back, she's put a lot of time and effort into creating the puzzles and stuff to see if you can escape from our jail here. So we're hoping to have some information about that next week and the official start date, which should be coming in the next week or two. So if you want to come and try to escape from the jail, stay tuned to our website where we'll have that information. So, and actually she's there in the chat room. So like I said, hopefully within the next 2 weeks, we'll have that open for people to be able to take reservations. Also, if you were in Huntsville yesterday, you probably saw a lot of, not yesterday, actually Tuesday, you probably saw a lot of commotion here at the jail. They were doing some filming here. We can't say a whole lot about that yet, but hopefully within the next couple weeks, we'll have a few special announcements and some really cool things because the pretty big production company was here filming. So we're super, super excited about that when we can talk about that a little bit more. Also, as far as Ghost Biker Explorations, we've got some really cool events that are coming up in September. September 10th is going to be the motorcycle ride in Franklin, Kentucky, as well as the VIP ghost hunt at Octagon Hall. And then on, I believe it's the 23rd and 24th, the Deep South Paracon, which is down in Southern Alabama. Stan Fikes is putting that on. I'm one of the guest speakers there. And then also today, I was just on the phone with Kelly Burton with London Laurel there in Kentucky. And so we've got a 3-day weekend event that's going on. It's going to be sponsored there with Wildcat Harley Davidson. So we're going to be doing a meet and greet at the Harley Davidson on Friday. And then on Saturday, we've got a big ride going on that's going to be about a 4-hour ride. We got a bunch of different stops there, and then going to get a little bit of a break. And then we're going to be investigating a very, very cool location. So, and then something special on that Sunday too. So we're actually going to have Kelly and then also Chris from Wildcat on pretty soon to talk about everything that's going on there. So we'll have more information about that coming soon. But speaking of events, I want to go ahead and pull on tonight's guest. I know a lot of you probably know them already, but I want to welcome my friends, Sara V and Rob. I don't want to butcher your last name, so I'm not even going to say that. Get haunted, dude. But yeah, speaking of events, why don't we go ahead and kind of dive right in? I didn't do an intro, but Sara, you guys have seen her on the show before. She's with Paranormally Blonde, and she's stepped in real involved with world's largest ghost hunt with is it the promotions?
It is with promotions, correct.
Okay. So so why don't we just go ahead and dive on into it, guys?
Do you want to go? How do you want to do this? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You want me to go? What?
Yeah, go.
Okay.
Go.
So it's World's Largest Ghost Hunt 2022, which is a celebration of National Ghost Hunting Day. And it's always the last Saturday in September. And so, yes, I volunteered. It was something that came up. I've always seen it, and I've known very little about it. So I decided to volunteer and learn what this event was. And it's a really cool, I'll let Rob, since he's of the executive leadership team of World's Largest, explain exactly how amazing it is. But it's a really cool event. And honestly, like the teams that are signing up, Dee Dee and I agreed we would give our platform over every Wednesday for World's Largest to introduce the teams and the locations that are signing up. And I have to say, we're 3 shows in, and that's 9 teams and some locations. A couple locations came on. They all get it. They all get what this event is about. And it's just been really fun to meet teams that I might not have ever really had an opportunity to lay eyes on. These right now we're talking to teams that are pretty much nationwide. But this is around the world. This is for around the world. So yeah, go Rob.
Yeah. So, I was approached to kind of help bring it to the next level earlier this year. And we're trying a whole bunch.
Oh no.
Yeah, I mean, Sara, I'd heard of it. I really never. Did I drop off already?
You did a little bit.
Oh, there we go. Yeah, I'm sorry. Hotel internet. I'm going to apologize in advance. But yeah, so came on board, and like Sara, I had not attended before or participated, but I had heard of it. So got on board, learned most of the ropes. Right, it's in its 7th year now, and we are cruising along. It's really, it is a global event. So we have teams in New Zealand, we have teams in the UK right now. And it's kind of like New Year's Eve, right? So we're going to start in New Zealand. What that means is I'll be at our headquarters for about 30 hours or so, which is going to be a long time. But I'll be there helping, get this thing going, and teams across the world will sign up, they'll get their slots, and then they'll jump in and do a live investigation. Most of them, if they're in a location that they cannot live stream from, you can submit a pre-record video. And it's everything paranormal from, we have Dee Dee here. She's going to do some dream analysis. We have Bigfoot teams, Skywatchers, you name it. It's all paranormal. Right. Location owners can do history tours. So, it is really about giving back to location owners, which is something that's near and dear to my heart, because, as I've been investigating all over the country for a bunch of years now, become friends with a lot of them, and I know how hard it is to keep the doors open and keep these things, moving so that people like me can come in there and investigate. So it just seemed like a perfectly fun and awesome opportunity, and I'm glad I've taken it up. Talk to me on September 25th when I'm awake for 30 hours. It might be a different story, but yeah. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. It's really a great thing to be a part of.
And actually, I want to add too, because Rob, you mentioned that you can pre-record yourself. So if you do have sort of shoddy reception, or if you're doing something outdoors and you do want to share it, or you want to do it during the day, but you don't know your time slot yet, right? You can pre-record. But the other really cool thing is, if you're a location and maybe you're not sure yet if you want a team to come in and do something like that for the night, you can also, as a location, register your location and do a historical tour. So it's just open for everybody. It's a great way for everybody around the world to see your location or how you investigate. It's, a lot of investigators have their home away from home, right? Like they always pick that one spot they really love. So what a great way to be like, here it is. Like, this is where I love to always investigate. So there is no right way to do this. You don't have to be an investigator for X amount of years. You don't have to investigate a certain style. If you have a passion for paranormal, if you have a passion for history, this event is for you.
Are the majority of the people who are doing this, are they return locations and return investigators?
I have found the last 3 shows, and not just like a year, like most of them either from the inception of it to 5 years, 3 years. And then we have the people who just plow right in, right? Newer teams, which I think is pretty exciting. Teams that are just forming in the last year, or maybe even during COVID, and it's a great coming out party kind of, you can kind of introduce yourself to the world with this one night event. And so I don't know. Yeah, it's, and I will tell you, being on promotions, it's been a little bit of a challenge because, who am I as I'm trying to like, hey, everybody come do this. But when we discussed having this show idea and having the teams on, they just make the job so easy because these teams are so passionate about it. And, they have developed their own, unique sort of spin on the evening. So, if a team has a location, you can choose to actually have an event that night. So say my team is going to come in and do the historic Scott County Jail, and I can sell so many tickets and I can price them at whatever I want. And then you set that up through Thriller Events, which is super, super easy. And then all that money that I make that night, I hand right to the location. So this is all about helping the location. And, it's a great way to promote your team, promote the location, save history, and do something nice in return for these location owners.
Absolutely. So,
And this is,
go ahead.
I'm sorry.
No,
Well,
no, go ahead.
This is why Sarah's promotions, right? Because all the things that I forgot to say. But Maria Schmidt started this thing 7 years ago, right? And she's really trusting us with this. It's myself, Catherine, Sorlos, and Michelle Roos are kind of like at the helm right now. But it's really about Sara and all the other chairs and co-chairs and the participants and promotions committee and metaphysical that really put this thing together. So it's really cool. This year we're bringing in we brought in Daryl Marston and his team from Paranormal Warehouse, Apple Box Video, RK Entertainment, and they're going to handle the live streaming part of it. In the past it's been StreamYard. They kind of helped out last minute last year. There's not a budget for this, in case anybody's wondering, right? This year there's a $50 entrance fee, and it really goes towards paying for the software that's needed, right? So Apple Box has a tremendous studio, and they're going to handle it. And it took a huge burden off of really my plate on the IT side to have somebody, clicking in all these different teams. And so with that comes software and comes channels, and that's where this money's going. So if anybody's watching and you're kind of bent about the $50, that's what it's for. We're totally transparent about where the money's going. Paracons, things like that. We're going to be doing. I'll be at a table in the Battlefield Bash in Gettysburg in a couple weeks. I had to buy some banners and things like that. So for less than the cost of a K2 meter, you can get yourself on. Literally, Paranormal Warehouse has 500,000 subscribers alone, right? So that kind of advertising you don't get for $50. So
I mean, just doing a Facebook ad for $25,
right?
Or the things we spend the money on, the $50 is nothing. And when you consider, going to these locations, I mean, it's well worth it. So when you guys say the channels that people can watch the investigations on, is this on Paranormal Warehouse? Is this on World's Largest? Do they have their own specific channel? How do people go about picking who they want to watch and finding out the times and such?
That's a great question. And it's something we're hammering out right now. So really the number of teams that sign up is going to delegate the number of channels that we need. So number of channels still has to be worked out. Where it's going to be streamed, Paranormal Warehouse, Facebook, and YouTube right now. That could change. We're going to hopefully maybe get more, but it depends. Their studio is well equipped to broadcast to multiple channels. So right now, those are the three that I know about. But like I said, we're getting more teams every day, and that's going to September 1st is the cutoff. So if you're watching and not signed up, go sign up, and because you only have till September. That's where we're going to cut the registration off so that we can get all of these things planned out and finalized before the event.
Great. And we've actually got the link to the sign up sheet there in the excuse me, there in the well, we also have it in the show notes, but also over in the comments. So when you go back and watch this on either Facebook, YouTube, or LinkedIn, or on NYMIX TV, you will be able to click on that link. It will be live. But I love the site. I love how you've got it easily laid out for everybody whenever they want to register and such.
Yeah, it's pretty painless. You do have to fill quite a bit in, but it's for a good reason, right? Once the registration happens, it goes over to me and to the coaches, and then they get assigned a coach almost immediately. That coach will be there to hold their hand through the entire process, make sure they get on Sara's show, make sure that they the banners that I create. So, staying in touch, getting them information on the live stream, pretty much everything that you can imagine. And there's probably about 200 little chats that I'm involved in now that are like, it's crazy. That's why I made sure my phone was off. But yeah, it's more work than I thought it would be, but it's for a good reason. And I'm just happy to be a part of it this year.
Well, and it's impressive just how many people you guys have involved with the whole thing, how many people it takes to put this together. So you just kind of briefly mentioned some of the different departments and such. And of course, these are all volunteers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. So what are some of these others? I mean, it's pretty fascinating when you start breaking it down to like the metaphysical and, promotions, that sort of thing. What are some of these other departments?
Go ahead, Sara, unless you want me to do it.
So there's the metaphysical team, and this particular committee has, people. I think right now it might be all female, but I think there might be a guy or two that, or I can't remember what Michelle did say about that, but it's a group of people who work in metaphysical, all different practices, all different belief systems, and they get together. And I feel like I heard they have a little meeting every Sunday, and they sort of go over all the different types of prayers and sigils and anything that they can do for that specific night to sort of open the portals, get the energy flowing to work around the world. And I will say that is a question that I do ask on the Wednesday shows, and it has been a pretty resounding, yeah, it feels different that night, and is it because there is this sort of right collective investigation going on, so it just feels really big? But the metaphysical team, it's all sorts. It's not just witches or Christian, or it's a lot of different beliefs that they get in there and work together. And then the promotions is just what it sounds like. We pretty much just go out and scream about it wherever we can and talk about it wherever we can. And then you've got the participants, and they're the ones that sort of come in, and as we're promoting, they'll find teams that are interested and sort of help explain some things that people do get a little confused sometimes. I think the main question I've heard is, I didn't think I qualified, but there are no qualifications. You just have to love paranormal. I think it's helped now that because it does say it's National Ghost Hunting Day, right? And we say world's largest ghost hunt, but it isn't just about the ghost investigators. It's about everybody that participates in any of the genre of paranormal. So in the coaches that work within participants, like Rob said, they're there. Once you sign up, you never have to be worried about, what do we do next? Oh my God, I don't know what I'm supposed to do. Do your night the way you're going to do your night. You're there to investigate your location, and especially if you're bringing people on as an event. So it's your night to have as your event, but your coach is going to be there to make sure that if you have any questions or if something goes sort of wonky, or they're going to help you through that to kind of connect you with the production team. And it does sound like it's going to be amazing this year, having a production crew out there just to make sure everything looks really sharp. And this is a great opportunity for everybody. Returning participants and new teams, or really anybody. I think I even asked, like, can paranormal podcasters come on? And guess what? The answer was yes, they can. They can also get a time slot and talk about whatever you want to talk about for an hour. I should probably totally do that.
Totally do that. So is that how long the teams and such get? Is an hour, or does that
That's
based
correct.
on participation?
No, it's an hour. We definitely we have more than enough for 24 hours right now. But it is an hour. And if anybody on any of these teams are watching right now, thank you all. Like Sara, everybody, all the chairs, all the participants, the coaches, metaphysical. These people volunteer an awful lot of their personal time. Without them, that none of this, believe me, none of this would happen. So special thanks to anybody that's watching, and Sara that's working right next to us on this show. Like they really they work hard on this, and it's amazing to watch because I get to see both sides of it. I have 2 locations that night. So I get to see what it's like to be on the other side, and I get to see everybody kind of coming together, trying to make this thing happen. In years past, Maria did this basically alone. Like I don't know how she did it and didn't quit because like it really is a lot of work.
What is the average, or have you heard what the average participation was in years past? I mean, is this set to be the largest?
Last year was 120 teams, if I remember correctly.
Mm-hmm.
So we're not quite on track for that yet. I'm hoping there's a final surge. It's even with what we have right now, it's going to be an amazing event. But I'd like to beat it, but I don't know if we're going to.
Well, I think that $50, I think, sort of threw people. I think it's a little bit unfortunate in the sense, and I know times are hard, but I think what we kind of need to also keep in mind, especially now after coming off of a couple of years of not having as many opportunities, it's $50, and you're talking about locations that you're really wanting to keep going. And when you start to see locations shut down, I mean, that's heartbreaking. And now I know, as being your friend, that's it. You just want to see these be successful, not just because I want to be able to get in there and investigate. Yes, that's one reason, but the amount of passion and love that you guys put to these locations, $50 just, and it's it's a one-time thing. So if the team registers, and they, if I say I'm going to register and I'm going to investigate the Scott County Jail, well, I pay the $50. We both don't. So it's $50. I mean, we blow that on the silliest, we'll buy a couple packs of cat balls and, we'll do that all day long. So throw it to the location,
Yeah, it may be a little bit of an issue. I see the question in the chat about how many other countries. I believe we're at 4 or 5 right now, but in other countries, that 50 might be a lot more, right? So like last year, I know we had Egypt and India and all these different countries. So, I'm hoping, unfortunately it was that StreamYard, who we're on right now, donated 120 month-long subscriptions last year. They jumped in and bailed them out at the last minute. That wasn't going to happen this year. So, short of paying for all this out of my pocket and Michelle and Catherine's pocket, that's where the 50 came in. I think it's a small price to pay here for me, but I know it is challenging for some folks. But if you have 5 people on your team, $10 pop.
That's what I was just going to say. I mean, the average team seems to be 5 to 6 people. So $10, that's a something at the drive-through pretty much now.
Right.
It's just unfortunate, the time being. Yeah, exactly. The timing being as it is, because I know we've had, we're pretty well booked up through the end of the year, at least as far as Saturdays go, at least through the end of October. Now we've got some dates in November and December before we start over with the new year. Now we've got Fridays and some Sundays open. So, but we have had several people that have committed to come but hadn't booked a spot yet, and then they just said due to gas prices and that sort of thing. And that's unfortunate, because I know as a location owner, we have an amazing museum. We've got a great escape room that is hopefully going to be something that's going to kind of supplement that. But the paranormal is truly what pays our rent here. So and we totally understand that people can't, people have commitments and stuff right now, but it's one of those things. it's not much when we look at the grand scheme of things and just how much
Right.
people spend on equipment and all this other stuff. So,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, $10, guys. D Hoot asks, are there any teams from Texas yet?
There's actually, and D, I feel horrible because I think the first show you asked that question, I was going to get back to you and I'm not going to lie. I've taken on a few different jobs here in the last short while. So I have been rather busy 8 hours a day. And that's no lie. I've kind of taken on a little bit of a desk job. But there are two teams, I believe. I feel like, oh gosh, off the top of my head, I feel like there's one that's a little bit maybe on the coast, but I really will get back to you, D. I will actually do that right after this show, and I will leave it in the comments for you. Because I know I just saw their banner. I don't know, Rob, if off the top of your head you remember, but there are I feel like two Texas teams right now.
I would pull it up, but I'm afraid with the internet here.
Yeah, right.
We're pushing it.
Yeah, right.
And I don't know, my cat finally laid down here, and I don't know, I can hear her purring and snoring. I don't know if anyone else can hear that. But she's totally distracted me because my microphone is picking it up, and she's literally laying right here. But at least she's quit trying to bump into the mic and stick her butt in front of the screen. So if you all hear that, it's not a demon, it's not a monster.
That's right.
It's Sally.
It's not paranormal.
Not paranormal. Yeah. So, and again, if anyone has any other questions or anything, please feel free to put them over here in the comments and we'll get those pulled up. If you're a team and you have a question, want to get involved, or if you're a location owner, is the website the best place for them to find that information, or is there someone specific they should reach out to?
Website's probably the best, or they can reach out to me. I'm pretty easy to find on Facebook. I won't volunteer Sarah, but yeah, myself, Michelle, Catherine. All you got to do is look for WLGH or World's Largest Ghost Hunt. You'll find us.
And honestly, like, just so everybody, and you can go on Facebook, and if you go to the World's Largest Ghost Hunt Facebook page, you can find the live streams, or you can go to Paranormally Blonde's YouTube. I'm not really saying this to get you to my channel. I'm really telling you, the 3 shows truly have offered more information than I actually imagined. And the teams, you're going to see on all 3 shows, there have been these returning participants, and they really have such an amazing grasp at what this event is. And I actually threw out to them last night that we need to somehow wrangle them in and get them to write some sort of a guideline for, like, how people can run an event, because they've got it down. Like, they've figured it out. They have people donating for goodie bags to pass out to the people who come to this event. A lot of them go to the same location. So, I'm Scare Tours LLC, Bluegrass, Ghost Chasers, Empirical Paranormal. I mean, these teams, if you watch them on the shows, I'm telling you, they have a wealth of information. And really, to me, they know more than me. I've just joined up and volunteered. They've been doing this for a few years. They get it. So definitely check out the shows. Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, so we'll just kind of pull those up there. So that's on the Paranormally Blonde YouTube channel. Let's see here. Does it broadcast on your Facebook page as well?
Not on our Facebook page, but if you go to World's Largest Ghost Hunt Facebook page, okay, I do broadcast it there as well, live. Yep.
Okay, great, great. And you said that's every Wednesday. Is it at 8?
8 p.m. Eastern time. Yep. Since we were trying to pick a time that would work, globally. And right now I did not look to see who was coming up for the next 3. But just trying to, get everybody a good time and trying to keep the shows. I've been really good. I don't know if anybody's noticed, if you know me, I've gotten the show down to an hour. we figured this out, even with this many people. But it's just been amazing teams. I mean, the show, to me, it was like, let's give this a shot. And I don't know, like I'm just in awe of these investigators. Like it's just been a lot of fun to meet all the different personality types, all the different styles that they have. But and just how kind they all have been. And I will say I snoop around on their pages, and you know what? They're really good for throwing stuff out there, and they're really supportive of each other and of the locations, and they're always doing fundraisers to even not just for that night, but for World's Largest in general. So they're constantly doing stuff. So it really is, you know, I'm not a huge fan of the word para-unity because sometimes I feel like we don't really participate in that. We might use the word, but we don't say it. I will tell you this particular event, it really embodies what I think that word was supposed to mean. At least that's what I'm seeing so far. So
Yeah, and that makes perfect sense. I really love this idea of doing that on Wednesdays, and that takes a lot to put together a show with that many people just moderating, and
you just don't know what's going to happen.
No, because even though you may only have like 6 people on there, you might have 6 people in one screen. You know,
and
or
we did
in one of the boxes.
As you can see, we had some big teams, and you know, when you're on StreamYard, you only have 10 seats to give away. Well, guess what? You know, I'm one always, and then I have a co-host. I've been using each of the leadership team members, and then now we're going to start adding in some of the coaches to co-chair or to co-host with me. So everybody has a moment, because you know, when I say this, I truly believe everybody should have a moment on a show. I think everybody should, like every single person should get 1 hour to be on somebody's show and just have, you know, just like getting a t-shirt. Everybody needs to have their own merch. So, and they really, I didn't know how it was going to go over, right? You don't know if teams do or don't. And it's been really fun to hear the coaches go, everybody wants to sign up, and we still have that many Wednesdays. So guess what, Dee Dee, our channel will be probably used after the fact as well, because we want to cycle through everybody. We want to make sure everybody, and now there's this big talk of, you know, post-game shows of now, you know, everybody wants to come on and talk about it. So it's been a lot of fun. I mean, this is sort of why Dee Dee and I do what we do, to see who's in what corner doing paranormal, and I'm seeing it. So
well, and Dee Dee says for sure.
Yeah. And the guy from Arizona last night, I think you're talking about Harry, probably,
Oklahoma.
right, Rob? Yeah,
Yep.
he's from Oklahoma.
Yep.
That's Flying Phoenix Paranormal Studies. Harry, he is a hoot. He is a lot of fun. He's got great heart, and he's super excited to participate. He's a first year participant, so he's super excited to have this moment.
Well, speaking of merchandise, is there going to be a World's Largest merchandise this year, or is that still something that's kind of in the works? I know that's a big thing to do.
It really is. You know, initially, you know, 'cause I do merch. That was the thought, right? But the amount of work that's gone into this already, it kind of precludes me from really doing it and not aggravating everybody trying to do it. There's going to be something because of the $50. We're looking at pins or something to get back to teams at least. But yeah, merch might be a really tall order, especially with September pretty much on top of us right now. Possibly, but probably not.
I can understand that.
Yes, and Marie, definitely have to talk to your team and join right up with it, because once you join this group, you are then part of the World's Largest Ghost Hunt family, and you won't regret it.
Yeah, Marie was she was my guest last week, and so great team, and so yeah, definitely gotta check that out.
Yeah.
So
get in there.
So speaking of merch, let's talk a little bit about your other venture, because we know you're not busy enough, Rob. Let's talk a little bit about Get Haunted.
Okay. Yeah. So Get Haunted, right? God, I worked for a larger event company for a bunch of years, and that kind of ended last year sometime, probably around August, September. And I'd always kind of loved making merch, shirts, and pendulum boards, you name it. And I was doing that for them. So once I left there, I was like, I'm going to start my own merch kind of company, right? And that was actually the original intent of Get Haunted. Yeah, subscribe. But yeah, so that kind of morphed into becoming a services and an event company, right? So the big idea was to be able to get smaller teams merch at a reasonable price, right? Because when you go to the big guys, you got to order in bulk
Yeah.
in order to get something. So I found ways to get shirts done way cheaper, and I've helped out a bunch of different teams, and that's turned into some bigger orders for, locations, or one, two, three locations. I'm starting to do Paranormal Warehouses merch. So long story short, it's become quite a hybrid operation, right? So I got the merch thing going, and then I wanted to do some events because I did miss investigating, and I love getting back to, which, by the way, the merch piece too, like the Shanley Hotel. I do her mugs and shot glasses and all kinds of different things. So it's not just helping teams, it's helping locations, get merch at a little bit of a better price. Also offer a bunch of different ways to do it, right? I can fulfill. So all kinds of neat different things that I offer compared to, like custom ink or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But I did miss investigating, so started, looking into doing events. Really launched October of last year, which is, as you know, is way late in the game, right? So, but I managed to, get a bunch of different locations this year and get out there. And it's hard, a lot of teams don't like public events, and I don't blame them, right? Because in a lot of ways they're overpacked and all kinds of fun things. So, but we don't do that, right? I wanted to keep them smaller, more intimate type of investigations, so that it's not everybody stepping all over each other. And that's kind of what we've been doing. So we've got a cool formula. We make it fun. We bring in other teams. This was another option, right? I wanted charter teams. What I call them. Some smaller teams can't afford or don't have the required insurance to get some of the larger locations, right? And I offer that to these guys, right? So it's not, I've been asked, why do you share the stage? I'm like, it's not my stage, really. Just, I want to share it. So if the smaller charter teams can become a part of Get Haunted, and we'll go do, let's say, Mid-Orange Correctional Facility, we'll co-host and sell tickets together and get paid together. And, at the end of the night, if everybody's happy and we had a great time, and by the way, like, I love learning from other teams. Another reason to be part of the world's largest ghost hunt is you get to work with other people. Perfect example, Silence Paranormal. They're one of my charter teams, group of deaf women. Doing Estes method with deaf people using sign language was one of the coolest things I've ever got to experience. And I never would have thought about it, right? Until I got to work with these beautiful women. They're just so cool. So we do a lot of cool things. My website's needs a lot of work, but yeah, it gives you the gist of it. So yeah, that's what Get Haunted is. I really wanted it to be a network where people can work with each other. So on our Facebook group page, we have people that are lawyers, people that are accountants, people that do various things, and I wanted to connect all these people together to help each other out. Graphic artists. So it's really not about me. I don't want it to be about me. I wanted other teams connecting with the right people to help grow their own teams or businesses or whatever they need to do to be successful. And it's become way more successful than I expected in that short amount of time. And from it came a lot of great things. So that's how Sara ended up being social media manager. I'm terrible at social media. I just don't have the time or the patience for it. So Sara's on board. We got a bunch of different people on board helping me in the background that, again, special thanks to all of them. Some of them I know are watching.
And I'm gonna put the link to your all's link tree page on here, because
that's the best way.
Yeah. I mean, I love it when people do link trees. It makes my job easy. I actually need to get mine set up. But it's perfect because, I mean, you guys are out there, and that's what's great. Got a great Instagram page, Facebook network page, and I've met a lot of really good people. I've not posted anything on your Get Network page, but I'm on there and I see a lot of different posts. So met a lot of great people.
I share
through
your
that.
stuff on there every now and then. When I
I
see it,
know,
I'll
I
throw it on the
appreciate
network.
that.
I know you're busy.
Yeah, it's hopefully that'll kind of calm down a little bit, but I don't know. Going into season 5 and stuff, it's probably only going to ramp up. But guys, definitely go on here into the comments, find the Linktree page, go check out all of Get Haunted. It's got Paranormally Blonde, Empty Casket. I know that I've seen them through Paranormally Blonde, and just fantastic folks. And
yeah, and I want to add too, like, the network works. We had Rob and Empty Casket on in December, and I joined immediately after the show, and the network works. Like, I went on, I think almost immediately, I was like, hey, I'm looking for a something guest, and bam, people are like, here, look, here's somebody's name. And because of Rob, he's an artist. He does amazing. He's very creative. He does amazing work. He created the Paranormally Blonde's new logo. He helped us out with our intro. So when he says services, we're hoping that Paranormally Blonde is sort of a jumping off for other podcasts or shows that need help, because that's just something that I wasn't super great at. So, this is like, it's truly what the network, how he saw it is how it actually works. And so, yes, I kind of forced my way in to Get Haunted. So D-Hoot, he does have an assistant. I do. Yeah. This is why I'm 8 hours a day now. But I was just like, dude, your Instagram sucks. Like,
it did. Hey, it was
you need a brutally honest assistant too.
Yeah.
No, truthfully, I mean,
he got
like one
2,000, 3,000% growth on there. It's like, I didn't have it. So yeah, tremendous. Thank you.
It's hard to manage all that.
Oh my God.
It really is.
For me, it's dangerous because I don't even know what account I'm in sometimes. So she has all my passwords and everything. She takes care of all that. It's so much easier.
But it's fun because he does do merchandise. So it's been a great, this is something for me. I when I was young, my whole career was about product development. So it's been a lot of fun to have this outlet and to give back to Rob for all the kind things he's done for Paranormally Blonde. And what his network has done. So, the least I could do was, what can I help you with? So I'm always like, well, what would I want? Like, I think my last idea was I want leggings with the logo. Let's do pajama bottoms with the logo on it, So he's always game for like, okay, we can try, and we throw it out there, and it, it's what people want, right?
Hey, we still got to do some of those plaid ghost biker flannels.
I know, right?
Yeah.
So I know we got to and I know this has been such a crazy, this is the thing, paranormal. I never realized, here I've just been chugging along for years and doing my own thing. And then I'm like, I'm going to volunteer. I think I did Get Haunted first. Then I was like, I'm going to volunteer for World's Largest. And I'm like, holy hell. Like, wow, I'm suddenly like 4 shows a week and and helping out with Get Haunted. And, but it's fun, and it is a lot of work, but it's Get Haunted is a really cool, I'm not even sure. Yeah. It's just a really great place.
It's a great concept.
It's a great concept.
Yeah.
And it's like World's Largest in the sense that everybody truly, they are very helpful. If you ask, I mean, you can ask any question on the network group page. You can ask any question and people will jump right in and help you. So,
oh my God. And nicely, like literally in the last year, I have not had to ban or moderate anybody. There was a couple like people selling steak knives or some crap on there, but literally
it's
like
unusual
no
sometimes
argument.
in paranormal. Sometimes it's people. Sometimes people kind of keep things a little close to the vest there.
Yeah.
And, it seems like they're in Get Haunted. And I'm a member of a lot of groups, where I share the podcast ads and that sort of thing. But you don't see the same kind of bullshit as you see in some of these other groups that, you don't see that in Get Haunted. And I love the concept behind it. I know Sarah's got those, had some badass K2 meters when she came down here to investigate the jail. I was looking for a picture of those to pull that up.
You know what?
Oh God.
It's actually on. I should have brought that up, and I actually did not think of it until we started talking. I was like, I should have.
I can probably find it right quick.
On my Instagram. And I'm going to tell you, like, when I tell you he can do anything, he can do anything. And I'll just ask. I'm like, everybody, if you know me, I'll ask anything. So it's like, hey, can you do this? Yeah.
Oh, the lasered ones you're talking about?
Yeah, the laser. Yeah, it's on my Instagram.
Okay. Oh, wait, I have them.
Mine's
there you
really
go.
cool.
See, and that's the cool thing. And that's what I like about this network, because I'm an artist as well. So it's kind of like a creative person. If they don't have 5 or 6 things in the hopper, they're not busy, And so you're not creative. There you go. I'm going to pull you up. Let's see if I can pull you up large right there. Well, it won't let me.
Is that one the lasered one?
Oh, I don't need to be there.
Yeah, this one's lasered.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, yours is lasered.
So that one, like he can personalize, and that's I'm literally looking at all my equipment going, can you personalize this? Can you personalize that? He can personalize anything. And honestly, when it comes to your K2s, especially if you're at like a public event or something, stickers peel off or Sharpie scratches off, and you're like, which one is mine? It's like when I'm with my sisters, who's taking who's home now? Guess what? I know it's mine. So send it in. And we do have a post on that, how you can reach Rob and for pricing, and it would depend on if you're using him for artwork. And then, he'll price you out that way, but it is so worth it. It's not a crazy, like, I don't know what people would think, but it's not like a crazy price of, like you're not gonna be able to afford it, but it's a great thing for your equipment and you feel really badass. You're like, this is mine.
It looks cool. It does look cool.
Well, why not take a tool that everybody has?
That's right.
And make it your own.
That's right.
Right. And so like Silence Paranormal came up with an idea for sign language pendulum board. And
oh wow,
they sold. I made them for them, and they sold a ton. Then I didn't want the money. Like that's for them. So it's really cool. It's nice to be able to help and get back to other teams and other people. It's just fun for me. Makes me happy.
Well, you can tell.
Can you?
He's like, oh my God. Oh, look at Dee just said, oh my God, I just thought of something. Gonna DM Rob. See, just DM him. He loves that. Pretty soon, it's gonna start.
I already owe Dee a bunch of things.
Yes, DM him because don't put it out there.
Yeah.
Publicly.
That's right. Save your ideas, and but it is. I think to his point of for some of these teams, you have to order at least a dozen, sometimes 24 before they'll even look at you, right? And you don't know if you want to have that much. So he does have this amazing opportunity to be like, hey, could you just like with the K2s, and if you have a team of say 5 people and you want to have team K2 meters, what a great way to have those personalized. And it's I don't know, like these are things that I never thought of. And so sometimes I do feel guilty because it's I'm constantly like, could you do this with Paranormally Blind? How about this?
Oh yeah.
It's a great thing to give to your team,
Yeah. We have Paranormally Blind laser grids now. We got it all. It's all out. It's crazy.
Listen, what better way to promote your products than having a real person using them?
That's right.
And
cool
so it's
totally cool.
It's all good. What Dehood is saying, hold a raffle. There
okay. Yeah, that's a good idea, actually. Yeah. I like that. I like raffles. I do. I love them.
Oh my God. I was trying to see
Oh,
if
I
there was
make
any.
dowsing rods too, Dehoon. I'll make you a cool set.
Oh yeah, you do.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't even have, see, we definitely, I've got to be on him, and he does need probably more than one of me helping him out. There is, he's nabbing locations, he's taking meetings for bigger events. People want to work with him. So he's always taking those meetings on. And then, I always feel bad because I'm always like, okay, what am I posting today, boss? And then he's just like, okay, give me a minute to think about it. But then he's already off doing something else. So it's time, and he's been begging me to get on Microsoft Teams because he would like to be more organized, and I'm old. I don't want to do that. I just want to write it down in my notebook. But we'll figure out our routine where we can have, like, every Monday we'll discuss this, and then he can stay organized, because this is growing quick. Get On and is growing really fast, right? Like, he's gonna be
made her
big
notebook
in
too.
2023. Oh yeah, he did. He did. Yes. See, he can do all this amazing stuff. And Dee Dee, your box is coming, but it's not coming until after I go to my event. So you can have personalized stuff. He's gonna, this whole Get Haunted network is blowing up, and you're gonna see amazing things coming out of this in amazing locations. And we're trying to get them to start migrating a little bit middle America instead of just the East Coast. But he is one person. So
no, 2 meetings tomorrow, 2 different locations. So we'll see. Yeah.
He needs more teams. So if we have some good teams out there that would like to interview to be a charter team, that would be helpful as well. So you can only be at so many locations at once, right?
I can't. I usually do about 2 weekends a month, like kind of like the reserves. But it's hard, like I'm out here. This was 5.5 hour drive today. I literally cannot be everywhere, and then also make merch. I'm in the middle of moving, so I'm living out of boxes. It's tough right now. So, and super busy through. I don't have a September, I don't think. And then October is going to be busy. November I got a couple things, and then I'm taking December and
you're busy
January.
September. You have 3 big things going on in September.
4
big things in September. See, we have to keep each other honest on this.
Plus moving. Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
But this weekend, so he's traveled 5.5 hours. There is a big Get Haunted event. You can still buy tickets if you do it quickly. I think you're closing tickets off as of tomorrow morning, tomorrow afternoon,
midnight tomorrow night.
Okay, so tomorrow or Saturday is Hillview Manor in Newcastle, Pennsylvania, which is a Get Haunted event. I will be there. So this is going to be my first official actual Get Haunted event, not just a paranormal hangout. This is an actual event. So he's going to do his introduction, and he'll have his crew there, and they bust up into teams. And so you work with a couple teams, and then you have free roam. And so again, this was an amazing opportunity because, this is a 90,000 square feet, location. And to get that privately for my team would have been really tough. And so when this one popped up on his website, I was like, yeah, I'm going to this because this is a 4-hour drive for me. And my sister's meeting me. So we're going to do a little VP Paranormal with Get Haunted. And I'm really looking forward to seeing so I can now also promote what these events really are like, because he does pride himself on keeping them smaller and letting everybody have their moment. You're not just following the Get Haunted crew and doing what they're doing. You're working with them and they're working with you. So I'm excited to see how that plays out for myself.
Yeah. They're, guests are pretty much part of the team for the night. For me, and it, like the jail, I guess, we have a lot of return people, and then we get the new guys, some of the new people in, and that's why I do it. When you get Hillview's, if you haven't been there, it's just good. It's kind of scary. But when you get that first reaction or someone their first experience, and you hear the brass come out of their mouth, it's just so worth it. So this one should be interesting because I haven't been to Hillview in a few years. I've investigated it a few times, and it's haunted. It's really haunted.
It's
So I'm
it,
excited.
and I am the gauge because we know that I go to these locations. When I first said I was going to this, and this was months ago, you know, maybe a few weeks after I said I was going to do it, I was like, I'm committing to this. Like, I want to do this event. And Rob was like, I really am worried that you're going to like not allow yourself to have a good experience. Do you remember that conversation?
I remember.
Yeah, he was like, you're going to go in there. And, but listen, now Miranda can be witness that I did have experience at the historic Scott County Jail in real time, right in front of me, right in my ear bones. I got to hear real life footsteps. So it does happen, but I, you know, so I'm looking forward to this large location that has some really cool stories. I'm trying not to hear too much. You know, everybody keeps telling me to watch this show on it, watch it. And it's like, I don't want to. I don't want to go in there with expectations. I want to go in there and just experience it. So, and I think that's kind of another cool thing about Get Haunted. You know, you get to just go in and I don't have to worry for myself about anything other than just enjoying. Like, they'll lead us to where we can go and have some experience. And Rob's always said, like, if things aren't really happening, we kind of go in and stir stuff up or try to redirect you, because as we know, there's a lot of sitting around and paranormal investigating. So yeah, but I'm excited to see what this is going to be and use all his equipment.
Well, and it looks like too, when I pulled it up on the screen, I was looking at the time. It looks like you get a lot of time at these locations on these investigations, because seems like some of the other event companies that I've seen, it might be like from, or at least events, maybe from like 8 to midnight or something like that. This is, you know, full scale, like what, 7 to 3 something?
Yeah, I love to punish myself. You know, I mean, and look, and I want people to stay, but sometimes when it's freezing cold, you know, it's like, okay, like you got to be tired by now, but no, everybody stays till the end, which is huge. That means we're doing the right thing. But yeah, we're all night, usually 8 to 10, 12 hours sometimes. So,
and you have different tiers. Make sure people realize that he does have tiered tickets. So if you don't want to stay the entire time, he does have a tiered ticket, you know, from 8 until midnight. So if somebody is maybe just starting out or just is curious, right, they might want to come in and just check it out and leave. And then if you decide that you're like, oh my God, this is so much fun, I don't want to go, you can add on to that, you know, and take that up with Rob or whoever at the event. You can stay. So, I like that it's tiered for those people that know right away that midnight's their limit. I am staying till 3 a.m. I don't care who has to sit there with me, but I'm taking full advantage of this particular investigation. So yeah.
This place,
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say, so at your events, do people tend to break up, or do they tend to go as a big group? How does that tend to work?
So, you know, I don't like having more than 10 per one of my people, right? So if it's 20 some odd people, we'll break into 2, sometimes 3 groups. Look, if a team of 7 people comes and they love just working together, I can sometimes make them their own team, right? Especially if they're seasoned, because they've been through it. They don't need to go through all of, you know, hanging out, learning about equipment, because I'll do a little bit of ghost hunting 101 on my rotations and get people familiar with the equipment, why it's good, why it's not. So yeah, but we typically break down into much smaller groups. Then we'll do a few rotations. They'll get to be with one of us, and we'll do some challenges, which are my favorite thing. Just isolate people, get their fear factor up, see how long they can last, give something away. All kinds of fun things happen. We make it a big hangout, and you know, hopefully get some people some experiences, and almost always get an EVP or 2. But yeah, we get some. It's just fun. At the end of the night, if 0 paranormal happened and we still had a good time, that's really all that matters to me.
And there is free roam, by the way. So like you do your group stuff, you do your challenges, and then he lets you do, I mean, you're still with the Get Haunted group, like gang. But you do then, like, at least the way you've explained it to me, Rob, right? Like, so they would do their groups. We do that for a little bit, go over evidence. And then I believe the people that leave at midnight, right, they go. And then that remainder of the time is sort of them working now. Like if I want to take over a group, right, and just say, okay, we're going to do it my way now.
We throw the keys and okay, we just showed you a bunch of different techniques and styles. And so now it's your turn. Show us what you got. And then we'll go off and they'll do their own investigation and we'll be with them and hold their hands as much as they want or be as hands off as they need. So yeah, it's different. It's definitely different and people love it. So they keep coming back. Most of them.
That's a good testament to it, you know, when people
helps.
come and then they end up coming back. So that, I mean, that says a lot.
Yeah. It's great.
So guys, definitely go on here to the comments, follow some of the links to the Get Haunted group page. Definitely check out the link tree because that's got all of their stuff, everything from their Instagram to their YouTube channel, or excuse me, to their group page. And then also World's Largest. We've also put those links in there. We have them in the show notes as well. Anything I've left out, guys? I know, I think I've got a video, not to jump back necessarily to World's Largest, but we'll kind of wrap it up with that, I think. And that way, you know, get some people, if they're not familiar about it, go back, check out the show, go to the website, check out Sarah's shows there on Paranormally Blonde on Wednesday nights. And you'll get to know the teams and you'll be able to kind of, so when the people want to watch the channels and such, so they will have the opportunity to pick, right? Like what they want to, I mean, will they know in advance? Okay.
Yeah, we'll have a full schedule and hour by hour for like 30 some odd hours, you know. It's
right. So you can get like notifications, right? Like of what, like if you wanted to watch somebody in England, you could have a notification saying your team is coming up or whatever. So it sounds like it's a really well-oiled machine. So
yeah. So we'll go ahead and share that and then come back with a few closing things. So if anyone has any questions, get those in before this little video is over with. And we'll I know Rob's traveling and I know Sarah's busy. So we'll wrap it up after this video here. Let me get this started. All right.
Are you ready?
Wow.
I've never watched that all the way through.
Miranda, we cannot hear you.
There
I
she
had to
is.
mute my mic. Sorry about that.
I
Yeah, to
I
mute my
made a
mic
lot of
so it wouldn't
banners.
echo.
And can we just notice? I have been super excited to look at everybody's logos. There's some really cool logos out there,
Yeah.
by the way. I love to see that. So did everybody catch Dee Dee's banner?
I
'Cause
did.
it looked really
Edie
cool.
was first. Yes,
She was first.
Yeah.
yeah, that's a lot of banners. I forgot I made them all.
Yeah.
So that's cool. Like that's one of my other responsibilities there. So yeah, and it's fun. I love getting these photos of these locations on there, getting the team logos up. It's awesome. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. So sign up, everybody. You have until September 1st
Sign up.
to register. So let's see your teams join in and become part of the world's largest ghost hunt family.
Yeah. So right at
All right.
yeah,
I'll
right
give
at a
one of these
month.
away.
Uh-oh.
If you sign up by Sunday and you say you saw us on Miranda's show, I'll send you one of these.
Uh-oh.
This one, I'll send you this one.
There you go.
Can people who work for you also be a part of that? So I saw you on Miranda's show, and I'm going to sign up.
Can Miranda, who hosted the show?
That's right. That's right.
You can. That's fine. But
Yeah,
I'm only
definitely,
doing like
guys.
2.
We'll put it there. We'll put it there in the show notes because again, this is going to air on. It's airing now on LinkedIn, YouTube here, and then on Saturday night on My Mix TV. So,
And we'll share you out on World's Largest Ghost Hunt as well. Miranda will put your show out there for everybody to see so they can get information.
Yeah. So if you guys have seen quite a few comments here about joining late. So if you do watch this afterwards, go check out Sara with Paranormally Blonde. Go check out Rob with Get Haunted, as well as World's Largest Ghost Hunt. A lot of different links there. We put a lot of different links in here. Busy people, y'all. So get on there and support these locations, and get to know some of these teams that are involved with this, because there's a lot of cool people. And plus, who can, you can't blink at Paranormal Warehouse. I can't even think. Paranormal Warehouse and Daryl Marston. I mean, that's really cool. So,
yeah, some heavy hitters, right?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Doing an event September 3rd.
Oh, he's cutting out.
Come see
He's
us.
cutting out.
Hang out with us for
Yeah,
just
that
to
is
get a
falling
nice
off the
old
table.
mill.
Yeah, go to it's the Return to Red Mill. You cut out, Rob. So it's Return to Red Mill. Go to Get Haunted page. I just posted up. So you'll be able to check out. There is a link for tiered tickets, and it is a cool overnight as well if you choose to. So yeah, he's got some cool things coming up.
Yeah. So yeah, go check all that out. Also go check out the historic Scott County Jail page for all the different events that we've got coming up, because there's a lot of really, really cool things. August and September are going to be extremely busy here, especially leading up to October. And then all the Ghost Biker events that we've got going on. Most of mine are pretty much going on there in September as well. We carrying on some of that stuff that's going on here in October, trying to kind of keep my Ghost Biker schedule pretty well open so that we can take care of a lot of really cool things during spooky season here at the jail. Just want to mention, as far as next week's show, got a great show coming up next week. We've got Ron Iacovetti. We're going to be talking about ITC, kind of getting in deep with that. If you've got questions about ITC or ever wanted to learn a little bit more about it, Ron's your guy. So we're going to have him on next week to be talking about that. And then hopefully here pretty quick, we're going to also be starting back up the Jailhouse Informant podcast here at the historic Scott County Jail on Sunday nights. We've got some really cool people lined up for that. So a lot of really cool things going on. We should be making the announcement on the Wildcat Harley Davidson motorcycle ride and the London Laurel event hopefully this weekend, as well as the Octagon Hall. We'll have tickets ready for that coming up this weekend. So unless anybody has anything else, I think that I think that's it. We all got to get back to work.
That's right. I got things to do.
Yes,
Post to
that's
do.
right. All right. Thanks, guys. Thanks for
Thank you.
watching, and we will see you all soon.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
I don't know why it's just sitting there spinning.
Still going.
It's still going.
Like they're not done.
You're done when we say we're done.
That's right.
Okay, that's weird. I've hit in broadcast and it's in there. It's saying
Can't get
having
enough.
trouble.
Uh-oh.
All right.